Good evening, everyone. So in today's session, we are going to first of all see some new conditional statements, which is the switch case statement. And after that, we will see another looping statement, that is do while loop, which is not found in Python, but you can use it in C and C++. And we will also solve some programs using these concepts which we will learn today. So we have already seen how to swap two numbers. We know how to find the greatest among three numbers. We can compute the power of a number as well as define a Fibonacci series of n terms. And these are your assignment questions as well. So today, to start with, I want to show you an analogy between your conditional operator and your if-else statement. So let us begin now. So suppose if you write a program like this, beginning with the header file and then void main. So now, do you remember conditional operator?
Yes,
Can you tell me what is like, how does it work or anything in your own words? Can you tell me?
condition is given.
Yeah, and based on the condition, either if it is true, then any one expression will be executed. If it is false, the other expression will be executed. So suppose I use a conditional operator here. I write int a equal to, suppose I have another variable. I have a variable a and I'm assigning it the value 12. Now if a is 12, I have another variable b. B is what? I'm going to assign the expression to it based on the condition. So based on the condition means what? Suppose the condition is here, a is greater than 0. This is your condition. Then put a question mark and then you have to separate two expressions using a colon. So your first expression can be, suppose the value 4, and your expression can be any constant value also, and suppose your value at the other is 5. So if a is greater than 0, which in this case is true, then the value 4 is selected and it is assigned to b. But suppose a greater than 0 is false, then the value 5 is selected and assigned to b. So when I run this program, and if I tend to print the value of b using printf statement, I can print the value of b. What should be the value of b? Can anyone tell me?
4.
Yes, the value of b should be 4. So when I run this program, first of all, I need to save it with a proper name, saving it as a C file. So as you can see, value of b is what? 4. Why? Because the condition evaluates to true. Now the same program I can write using if else also. So let me open a new window. Same things have to be done first, that is including your header file, defining a function void main. Okay, so here again int a equal to 12 as in the previous case. And now if a greater than 0, then what you do? Take another variable int b, declare it first, then you can initialize it within the if statement. B will be equal to 4. If a is greater than 0, then b is equal to 4, else b is equal to 5. Okay, so this is similar to your conditional operator, but see here, you have to write so many lines of code. So suppose you want a quick execution or quick way of expressing what you want to, then you can use your conditional statement. If a condition is true, assign one value. If it is false, assign this value. Same thing, I've done it using if else. If a greater than 0 is true, b is 4. If a greater than 0 is false, then else part b is 5. Okay, have you understood the similarity between conditional operator and if else statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so you can use whichever suits you, but in small places you can use conditional operator. Means whatever suits you. Okay, now next what we learn today is something different, that is do while loop. So before that, let me revise while loop, because while and do while syntax is similar, but the way you write your syntax is a bit different. I repeat, syntax is similar, but the way you write it is a little different. So first of all, I'll show you the syntax for while loop, which we have already seen, but as a part of revision. So first you have your initialization. Okay, then you have while. You have to check the condition within the parenthesis of while. And then based on that, you can execute the body of statements. And then within the while loop, you should have some increment or decrement as per your application. Okay, this is the syntax. So initialization means what? Example I can give here for initialization. I can say int I equal to 0. Okay, this is your initialization. Condition can be what? Your condition can be, suppose I is equal to 0. Okay, this is your condition. So only if I is equal to 0, then the while loop will get executed. So what could be a statement? Suppose you want to print the value of I. Your statement could be anything. You can modify the value of I or whatever you want. But here simply I want to print the value of I. You can have multiple statements. Here I'm having only one statement. And then you can have your increment or decrement part. Now suppose you do I plus plus. Okay, this is what? This is post increment or pre increment. Can you tell me I plus plus?
Post
Post
increment.
increment.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So now this is an small example, minor example. First you have to initialize, then check your condition within while. If condition is true, only then while loop ka body will get executed. You can have number of statements in your while loop, and so that your while loop doesn't go into an infinite loop, you have to manipulate with the counter variable. Your counter variable is what? I. Counting is done by a counter variable. Okay. So this is a basic example of while loop. So now I is 0. This condition, now you have to check equality. Okay, you should not write I equal to 0. You have to write I double equal to 0. Means I is equal to 0, that condition we are checking. If we write a single time, only once if we write equal to, it is like assignment. But here we have already assigned. You have to check the equality, whether I is definitely equal to 0 or not, that we are checking in the while loop as a condition. Okay, so now I is 0, that is true. So you will print the value of I. But now you're going to increase the value of I as well. I plus plus, that is post increment. So what you're going to do, I will become what? 1. And 1, then again the condition will be checked. But here I is equal to 0, this will become false. So your while loop will not execute. Your while loop will execute only once. That is because I is equal to 0 and then 0 is becoming 1. Okay, so what should be the output? Can you tell me here? Hello?
0.
Yes, 0 will get printed, the value of I. So I can save my program as while loop demo. Don't forget to save it as a C file. Oh, I didn't include my header files and all that. Okay, hash include stdio.h, and within your void main, all these statements should come. So now this should successfully compile and run. As you can see, as you have told me, the value of I is 0, then it becomes 1, so while loop will not get executed. So this was example of while loop. Now, how is it different from do while? I open a new window. I include my header files as custom. Now, in do while loop, how is your syntax is? You can have your initialization here. Then write the keyword do, and then within parenthesis, you'll have your statements. And then after this ending or closing parenthesis, you have to write while, and within brackets, your condition and semicolon. So here what we understand is your condition checking is done after execution. Means what? First you have your do, then within brackets you have all your statements, and then you have to write while condition semicolon. Means what? First you have to and then do whatever your statements are, and then check the condition. Okay, so here condition what we can have, again we can have I is equal to 0. This is our condition checking. Now statements can be what? You want to print the value of I, suppose. Now you can print the value using %d or %i also you can use. You're printing the value of I. Now since you're means here you have to check the condition after execution. So there are some benefits and some disadvantages also, I'll tell you. First let me execute this program. So I will be what? 0. You'll print it, and then you will check if I is equal to 0 or not. So what? Whether your condition is true or it is false, this statement will always get executed at least once. Okay, here I is 0, you'll execute the body of do while loop, and then you'll check the condition. If I is not 0, then it is over. But suppose I is 0, then once again this loop will get executed. So let us see the output now first.
No increment.
Yeah, you can increment. Yeah, I'll do that also. So in your increment, you can have it over here within your do while loop, increment or decrement. Suppose you're doing increment then I plus plus. Okay, so first I is equal to 0, then I becomes 1, 1 is not equal to 0. So this will stop. So condition is false, but your body will get executed at least once in this case. So see here, you're getting the value 0. And then I is becoming 1 by increment, and 1 is not equal to 0, so false, so loop is terminated. Now suppose I write the condition I is equal to 3. Means what? First I is 0, it will print, then I will become 1. It will check. Condition is false, it will stop. Okay, so here also you'll have the same type of output. So now one more case that you can have here is, suppose I have a char variable, char a. Okay, this is declaration now. I have not initialized character to anything. Since this is declaration, I have not initialized. Now, suppose you want to print the value of I. Okay, and here you are using the condition while a is equal to, suppose I use the character capital Y. Okay, so see here, now I've only declared, I've not assigned the value of a to Y. So a is just declared. And now if I want, I can, within the do while loop, I can write a equal to what? Y. So what will happen? Since I've told you, this loop will definitely execute at least once. And after that, the first time condition will be checked. So a will become Y, and that will be checked here if a is equal to Y or not. Since a is getting assigned to Y is getting assigned to a, and you're checking whether in a Y is stored or not. And then if it is stored, again this I will get printed. And then again a is becoming Y, and again it will be checked. So what is happening here? Infinite loop. Unless a becomes equal to some other character, you will not be able to come out of the loop. So let me execute this program. So see here, it is keep on printing 0. It is not stopping. So this is an infinite loop. Now what I can do is, suppose I write here, I plus plus. Okay. And then I have a if condition within my do while. What is the condition? If I is equal to 3, then I write break. Okay, you know break statement. It is used to terminate the loop and come out of the loop. So what will happen now? I'll print I is equal to 0, then I will become 1, A is equal to Y. Okay. Since I is equal to 1, this if body will get failed. It will not get executed. Then A is equal to Y condition is true. Again, you'll execute. I will become what? 2. Again, it is not equal. So like this, but once when I becomes 3, what will happen? You'll come out of your do while and it will not get into an infinite loop. So as you can see, first I is 0, it is getting printed. Then I is becoming 1, okay. I is becoming 2, okay. Then when I becomes 3, what is happening? When I is equal to 3, condition is true if body is getting executed and break. So you're coming out of your do while loop. So we have also seen how to use break statement here. Have you understood the application of do while loop?
Yes.
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 Okay. So this was the difference between while and do while. So what points I can tell you now? See, while loop, it is entry controlled. As per the entry at the entrance of the while loop, you're checking condition. But in do while loop, at the exit point, you're checking condition. So I can say that while loop is entry controlled, for loop is also entry controlled, but do while is exit controlled. And if the condition is false, while loop will never execute once also. But if the condition is false, do while loop will definitely execute for a single time. Have you understood these differences?
Yes.
Yeah. And here also you can use char a equal to y, but if it is not equal to y, body will never execute. But here what we are doing, we are first declaring a, and then within the body we can assign, and that we can check as the condition. Okay. So we have seen do while. Now another conditional statement is switch case. Are you aware of switch case?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'll just show you the syntax of switch case. Now switch case you don't have in Python, but you can have it in C++. So the syntax is switch keyword within brackets. You have to have an expression, and there are some restrictions for this expression. Means what? This expression can only be a character. Expression can be a char value or an integer value. It cannot be float, it cannot be boolean, nothing. Either character means what? The expression should evaluate, or finally the expression should give the value as a character, or finally after you solve this expression, it should give you the value as an integer. Only that is allowed in the brackets of switch. Then give your parenthesis. And in your parenthesis, you can have different cases. And the case, after case, you have to write the different possible values of the expression. Suppose expression after you evaluate, it is giving you the value which is greater than 0 and less than 4. So what all cases you can have? If the expression ka value is greater than 0, then it can be 1. So case 1 you can write. Then what? You can have case 2. Then you can have case 3. You can have case 4. Okay, suppose the value is expression ka value is greater than 0 and expression ka value is less than 5. Then you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 as the cases. I repeat, expression is greater than 0 and it is less than what? 5. Okay, so this is the range of whatever value you get after solving expression. Okay. And now suppose your expression didn't give in this range or whatever. So else part you can have here, but that will be your default case. Okay, this is like your else part. Whatever default case you have, it is like your else condition. So in case 1, this is the syntax. Okay, case, whatever possible value of expression, colon, and then you can write your statements. Now if you want to make your code more readable, you can give a tab over here, that is indentation, but it's not necessary. Okay, below this also you can write. Suppose here I want to print the value of expression. Or say I want to print the value 1. Instead of this, I'll print it this way. Okay. And after whatever statements you have, these are your statements under case 1. Okay, these are your statements under case 1. And after this, you should have a break statement. Okay, this is the case for each case. You can have a statement here also, one statement or many statements, and then break. Okay, here also same thing. Even under default. So how this works, you have a particular expression and the possible values of expression you're specifying as cases. Case 1. 1 means what? It is the value 1 is the value of expression. 2 can be the value of expression. 3 can be the value of expression. 4 can be the value of expression. Suppose it is not 1, 2, 3, 4, any of these, then it is an else condition that you can write under default. And after each case, you have to give break statement. Why? Because if it is case 1, then you execute all the statements under case 1 and come out of your switch statement. Otherwise, if you don't give break, what will happen? It will keep checking each case, which you don't want. Okay, only a particular case you want to execute. Now, let us see a program using switch case. So I'll convert this itself into a program by including my header file. Have you understood the syntax of switch case? Have you understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, with an example, it will be more clear. So don't worry. So see here, suppose I have a variable with the name expression. Okay, and I assign it the value a plus, or let me assign it the value 2 plus 3. Okay, you can have even variables like a plus b or whatever, and in a and b you can store some value. Here suppose I said 2 plus 3. Okay, or for now let me say 1 plus 3. So 1 plus 3 is what? 4. Okay, so that 4 will come here in place of expression. Since the value of expression is 4, which case will execute it? This one will get executed. Case 4, whatever statements are under case 4 will get executed and you'll break from the switch case. So now you can either use it as a variable here or directly here also. What you can write? 1 plus 3. This is also acceptable. You can write any expression here directly also. But let's do it like this for now. So in case 1, I'm printing 1. In case 2, I'll print 2 suppose. In case 3, I'll print 3 suppose. In case 4, I can print 4. And in default, what will happen? Suppose I print default case. Okay. So now 1 plus 3 is what? 4. So expression ka value is 4. And so case number with the value 4, this case will get executed. And you'll get the output what? The value 4, since I'm printing 4. So let me save it as switch case demo as a C file. So see here, you're getting the value 4. That means which case is getting executed? Case 4. Have you understood?
Yes.
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 Okay. So now let us write instead of expression. Now is the expression 2 greater than 3 valid over here? Can you tell me? If I write 2 greater than 3, is it valid?
No.
Why is it not
No.
valid?
It should have character or integer only.
Yes, very good. Excellent. It should have either an integer final value or a character. So 2 greater than 3, this will give me Boolean value. It will give me false because 2 is less than 3. So this is not allowed. So suppose I write 2 into 3. Is this valid?
Yes.
Yeah, because 2 into 3 is 6, which is an integer constant or integer. So 6. So now we don't have any case 6. Okay, the value of this expression is not 1. The value of this expression is not 2. Value of this expression is not 3. It is not 4. So it is default. Case will get executed. And you can here what will get printed? Default case. So let me run this program. As you can see, default case. Why? Because expression value is not satisfying the cases that we have defined. So it is running the default case. Now some facts about switch case. See, I've already told you have to use integer value as an expression or character. Now one more fact is these cases don't have to be in serial order like one, case 2, case 3. First you can write case 3, in the middle you can write case 1, somewhere at the end you can write case 15, somewhere you can write case 20, any order. But whichever case you want, you can specify. Not necessary they have to be in any serial order as such. Okay. And even this default case, you can write it in the beginning also, no problem. So you can write default over here also, or somewhere in the middle also. Execution will remain the same. Okay. You can write default anywhere. And after that, you can give break also. See here, case 3, no problem. You can have cases in any order, default in any order, anywhere. So I'll again run this program. So 2 3s are 6. So which case will get executed? Default case. So as you can see here, again the output is default case. Okay. And one more thing, the cases are what? Nothing but the values of your expression that it will evaluate to. But instead of 2, this is what? Integer. Again, you can have only character value as your case, or you can have an integer as your case. You cannot have floating point value as your case. Okay. Suppose I write case 2.1. Okay, this is a floating value. This expression, since it is an integer, it will never give the case of 2.1 as its value. And 2.1 is not allowed. It is floating point. So as you can see, it's giving me an error exactly at this case. Okay. So floating point cases are not allowed. Only integer or character is allowed. Now have you understood till this much?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now, so this is similar to your if else case. Okay. So if else case, it is similar to that. Like you have your if condition, then you have else if condition, again else if, and finally else condition. Okay. It is similar to that, but only difference is your else condition, that is your default, can go up also, and your cases need not have to be in serial order. So uh, one more advantage of switch case is this program you can write using switch case. Same program you can write using if else. But which program will execute faster? The program which you have used switch case in. The switch case programs execute faster compared to your if else programs. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Now, if I want to have a character value as my expression value, so suppose I write my expression now will hold the character value, suppose capital B. Okay. Now, and here I write the variable expression. Now default case is there. You can have, now cases will be what? They'll be character values. Suppose character A is the value of expression. Then you can have, suppose C is the value of your expression. Then suppose D is the value of your expression. Then suppose B is the value of your expression. Okay. And default is what? If it is not A, not C, not D, not B. So here I've not written A, B, C, D in order. I've written A, C, D, B. Any order you can give, and default case. Now this also I should change to char because expression is of character type. So let me run this program. As you can see, case 4 is getting executed. Now what is case 4? Let us see. Case 4 means printf 4. 4 you can see at the output means what? Case B is getting executed. So this way you can have character values also in your switch case. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now I've shown you all the conditional and control statements. Now we'll execute the remaining programs, that is Armstrong number, reversing a number, whether a number is palindrome or not, and prime number. So as I have told you, Armstrong number is nothing but sum of cubes of digits should be equal to the original number. For example, suppose you have the number 231. Okay, this is your number. I mean 231, not 231, but 231. And if you do 2 cube, what is the value of 2 cube? 8. Then you have to add next digit cube. Next digit ka cube is what? 3 cube. 3 cube is what? 27. Plus 1 ka cube is 1. Now 27 plus 9, that is what? 36. But 36 is not equal to the original number. So this is not an Armstrong number. On the other hand, if your number is 153, that is 153, 1 ka cube 1 plus 5 ka cube 125 plus 3 ka cube, that is 9. So 1 plus 125 plus 9, that is 1, it will give you, sorry, 3 ka cube is what? 27. If you add all this, you'll get the number 153. So the sum of cubes is equal to original number. So it is Armstrong number. Now, let me code this. So suppose you have a variable in which you are storing a number 153, suppose. Now, first what you have to do, you have a while loop. You have certain condition in the while loop, and based on the condition, you have to execute certain statements. Now, I have already told you that suppose you have any number, suppose you have the number 153, and if you do that number mod 10, you will get the last digit of that number, that is you'll get 3. But if you do n divided by 10, you'll get quotient, and quotient will be nothing but all the digits except last digit. So 15 you'll get. Okay, so in 10, how many zeros you have? You have a single zero, so you'll get last digit. Suppose you do n mod 100, you'll get last 2 digits. Why last 2 digits? Because 100 has 2 zeros, so last 2 digits. Similarly, if n mod 1000, you'll get last 3 digits, that is 153. And if you do n mod 100, you'll get all the digits except last 2. N divided by 100 will give you what? It will give you 1. You will not get 5 and 3. So let me execute this program. So as you can see, you're getting 53 from where? N mod 100 means you're getting last 2 digits, 53. And n divided by 100 is what? Everything except last 2 digits. That is digit 1 you'll get. Okay, you've got digit 1. So 53 is coming from n mod 100, and from n divided by 100, you're getting 1. Have you understood the difference between mod and dividing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
so this concept, yeah, we will use in our Armstrong number. So now int a equal to 153, some condition you have, and one thing, suppose you have a single digit, suppose you have the number 6, and if you do n mod 10 or n mod 100 or n mod anything, you'll get 0. Okay, for single digit, if you do n mod n divided by anything, suppose I do n divided by 100, then you will get the value 0. As you can see, you're getting 0. 6 is nothing but from coming from mod, 0 is coming from quotient. Okay, suppose you do n divided by 10, still you'll get what? 0. Okay, if you have a single digit. So that will be helpful in our case of while condition, in our condition of while loop. So let me create a variable digit. Okay, and in your digit, I'm assigning the value, your variable, suppose your variable is n over here. In digit, I'm storing n mod 10. So I'll get the what? Last digit of n. Last digit of n is what? 3. So in the variable digit, you will store the value 3 for the first time. Then what I'm doing, I have another variable I'm initializing to 0, that is sum. And in sum, I'm writing sum is equal to sum plus the cube of digit. Now cube of digit, you can use math library to find cube, or simply do digit into digit into digit. Digit multiplied by itself 3 times means what? Cube you'll get. So I'm adding the cube of the digit, which is this digit, digit variable ka digit. Cube of that, I'm going to add it to sum and store it in sum. Okay, you can use the assignment operator plus equal to also. But for simplicity, let me write it this way. And then you have to update the value of n. How you can update it? Using n divided by 10. Okay, so now how this will work, let me show you. Okay, so suppose your digit your number is 153. Now what will be your first step? Digit is equal to your number 153 mod 10. So what will get stored in digit? Can you tell me?
3.
Yes, very good. 3 will get stored. Now next step. Sum is equal to, what is the current value of sum? 0. So sum is equal to sum, that is 0, plus digit into digit into digit. That is current value of digit is 3 into 3 into 3. That is nothing but 27 plus 0. That is nothing but 27. And then what you're doing, you're updating the value of your number. N is equal to, what is the current value of n? 153. Divide it by 10. So you will get all the digits except the last digit. Okay, so 153 divided by 10. So you'll get what? 15. You won't get the last digit, you will get 15. So 15. Now this was the first iteration. First time when you ran your loop, this was the thing. Now what happens when you run it for the second time? Digit is equal to, what is your value of n now? Can you tell me?
15.
15.
Yes, correct. It is 15. 15, same thing, mod 10. So what will be the value of digit now?
5.
Yes, 5. Last digit of your number, 5. Then you're doing what? Sum is equal to, now what is the value of sum?
27.
27.
Yes, so sum is equal to previous, that is your current value of sum. Sum is equal to current value of sum plus cube of your digit. That is, what is the digit now? 5. So 5 into 5 into 5. That is, I'll write here directly. Okay, let me write it for you. 5 into 5 into 5, which is nothing but, you can calculate here, 27 plus 125, that is 152. Okay, 152. And then n is equal to, can you tell me what n will become? N is equal to n divided by 10. What is the current value of n?
15.
Yes, so take 15 and divide it by 10. So what you will have? All the digits except last digit. That is, you'll have 1. So n has become 1 now. Now third time when you run the loop, tell me first what is digit?
5.
Yeah.
1.
So 1 mod 10. That is what? 1 mod 10. So it's not
0.
5. It is, I mean, your current value is 5. And then 1 mod 10 will give you the last digit of your number. That is 1. Okay. You won't get 0. You will get the last digit of your number. That is 1. And then I repeat the things. That is, sum is equal to, what is the current value of sum?
152.
Yeah, 152 plus,
1 cube.
just a minute. Yeah, 1 cube, just a minute. Yeah, 1 cube, that is 1 into 1 into 1 is equal to what? 152 plus 1, that is 153. Okay, now your sum is equal to your original number, but we have to not stop here. you have to still perform n is equal to n divided by 10. But what is n here? 1. 1 divided by 10. What should be the answer?
0.
Yeah, you get your quotient. That is, I've told you already, it should be 0. Now, you have to stop here. So always, how can you know when you have to stop? Always when your number becomes 0, no, that time you have to stop your while loop. Okay, I repeat. Since you do your division, you're reducing your number step by step, and finally it becomes 0. In every number, if you divide by 10 letters successively, finally it becomes 0. And that time you have to stop, because your sum in that case is equal to your original number. And that time your n has become 0. So that time is the perfect time when you have to stop. In some cases, if it is not an Armstrong number, your sum will not be equal to original number. But since your n is becoming 0, it is the time to stop your while loop. Okay, so when n becomes 0, you must stop. And if it is an Armstrong number, the sum variable will hold your original number. If it is not Armstrong number, it will not be your original number. It will be something else. So this is the way I've iterated for 153. Similarly, you can try at home for other numbers also. You can search on the internet which are the Armstrong numbers and try like this for each one, if your loop is working perfectly or not. So here what I can say, since 153 has 3 digits, your loop will run 3 times, isn't it? I've executed once over here, second time and third time. Since the number which I'm checking has 3 digits, your loop will run for 3 times, okay? So now let me run my, so what should be my condition? You have to run your while loop as long as your number is greater than 0. This is your condition. I've shown you why you have to use this condition. Okay, so you have understood why this condition is this way. As whenever n is greater than 0, only that time execute a loop. If n greater than 0 is false, means n is equal to 0, so you have to stop executing. Have you understood Armstrong number program?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Now what we can do, you can print at your output whether it is Armstrong or not. How we can do this? Use a if loop, if condition. And since your number has got updated and become 0, so what you do in the beginning, you store your number, original number n, in another variable, say n1. Okay, so n1 is equal to n and n is equal to 153. So n1 is equal to 153. And now you can compare n1 with what? With what you'll compare n1? Can you tell me to check?
Sum.
Yes, very good. You'll compare n1 with sum. Why? Because sum is the variable in which you will store your final answer, and you have to compare it with original number which is stored in n1. So here what I'll write. If this condition is true, then if statement will get executed. So printf %d is an Armstrong number. And in place of %d, you have to print the value what? You can print either sum or n1. Anything you can print because both are equal in this case, right? So you can write n1. Okay, so n1 will come in place of %d. So n1 is an Armstrong number. Else, if sum is not equal to n1, then what you will print? You will print that n1 is not an Armstrong number. Okay, so same thing you can print here. So now let me save this program first. Armstrong number. And now I'll run it. So as you can see, 153 is an Armstrong number. So what has happened? I've already iterated the loop. And finally, what is happening? N1 is becoming equal to sum. And so you can print that it is an Armstrong number. Now let us try for the any random number 563. So what should be the output? It is not an Armstrong number. As you can see, we are getting the same thing. Means what here? N1 is not equal to sum. So your else part is getting executed. That is this part. And it is printing not Armstrong. So I hope you understood this program.
Yes.
Similarly, yeah. And you can accept the value of n from user also, from scanf. You can try that at home. Here I'm directly initializing. Okay, so We will stop here. You can put your attendance in your chat box. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And after putting your attendance, you can leave this meeting. Thank you. Any doubts?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
I have a doubt.
Yes, you can ask.
In a switch case, how many cases can we include?
You can include how many ever cases you want. And default case is not compulsory, but it is like else. So if you want, you can add default case. But how many ever cases you want, you can use in switch case.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
I also
Thank
have
you.
one doubt.
Yes, you can ask.
That in switch case, the expression we used, that greater condition.
Yes.
So why it will give false? Because it will return zero means, so it will be integer value only, no?
No, no, but here it is actually what it is Boolean value, and that while printing we use %d. So that Boolean value is getting printed as 0 or 1 because we are using %d. But in if you don't use %d and if you use std bool library, you can use either true or false. Okay, so your condition should be such that you get a direct integer. You cannot have a Boolean as 0 and 1. You have to have integer or character. It should not be a Boolean which you can write as 1 or 0. You can write a Boolean value as 1 and 0, but 1 and 0 is not actually Boolean. Okay?
Okay, means any condition greater than or equal to
Yes.
anything is not valid.
Yes, it is not valid.
Okay.
Okay.
And one more doubt was there,
Yes.
that while computing the executing the program, I was doing by online compiler. So in
Okay.
that, I just written void main function and didn't use return function because it didn't return anything. But then also
Yes.
it's showing runtime error. And if I use int main void, so we have to compulsory return something. So in that
Yes.
case, it's not showing runtime error. So
Yeah,
uh,
it may depend on your online compiler because in your online compiler it supports all the languages. No, you can have an option to select Python, C++, Java. So it sometimes it may not actually work for a specific language as per its characteristics. It may be because it supports different languages, or it may depend on your compiler also. So if you want, you can use Dev C++ IDE for this to solve this problem, or try some other online compiler.
but void main returns nothing. So then also it is
Yeah, it
showing runtime
happens.
error.
It depends on your compiler. Like even in Turbo C++, it may not, it may work little differently. So it actually GCC compiler is used in Dev C++, but there are different online compilers which are usually GDB type compilers. So they may not support such things. You may have to compulsorily use int main.
No, in GCC compiler only I am saying.
Okay, then it may be because you are using online compiler because online supports different languages. So it may not work as you think sometimes.
Okay, so because in online compiler I have to compulsory use that int main void.
Yeah, so you can use it, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, thank you, Bhaiya. Bye.
yeah, welcome. Bye. Anyone has a doubt? Okay, I'll end this meeting now.